And here we go.
What is up, Deadheads? My name is Mike from the Super Wheeler Bros, and we are back with yet another review of The Walking Dead's 8th season, and this time we're taking a look at episode number 3 entitled Monsters. Guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, while it has not been a bad start to the season, I feel like we might be botching the All Out War storyline. I really do. The way they've chosen to tell the story is kind of okay. It's fine. It really is. Some of the things that they're doing don't make any sense. Morales. Let's talk about that. Morales is back, and for some odd reason, even though he got this nice, 3 or 4 page dialogue scene with some really intense dialogue between he and Rick, that really, it does have some good ramifications, and I will explain those later, but within 10 to 15 minutes of this episode, Daryl comes in and just kills him. I mean, what? Okay, so this guy hasn't been back in 7-ish seasons, and that's your big thing? Like, we made such a big deal about him coming back, and that was it? And he looks at him, and Rick's like, doing his Rick thing, right? When he's shocked. And Daryl just goes, don't even matter who he was. Not one bit. So pretty much Daryl's just not asking any questions. He don't care. He doesn't care not one little bit. I understand that you want to have some dissension in the ranks. I do. Rick is apprehensive of how Daryl is acting. He really is. But at the same time, he's not going to stop him because he knows that in the end, they have to do what's right. I will say that what made less sense than that was the kung fu battle in the middle of the woods with Jesus and Morgan. What the frick is going on? I don't understand. Okay, so now Jesus is the moral compass of the show. Now Jesus is the one that is having these I don't want to kill problems. Morgan had him a couple seasons ago. Now he's flipped his lid again and he wants to kill everybody. You can tell he's breaking. Lenny James is doing a great job with this character, even though it's written kind of really not so coherently. But he's doing a great job. He's actually making you believe that his sanity has just completely flipped and that he's lost his mind. Especially when he's like, what? And it's like he snapped out of it. Out of this funkin' haze that he's in. It doesn't make much sense, but at least he's trying to portray it that way. I mean, Carol went through this at a very inopportune time. And now Jesus is having this issue. I don't understand how you can look at these guys and think, yeah, we're going to live with them at some point. The long-haired dude that kept goading Morgan the whole time, man, just let him kill him at least. I mean, for God's sake. I don't understand where that's coming from. Maggie letting Gregory in. She had questions about well, you got Gabriel's car. Oh, I don't know who that is. Why are you letting him in? I understand that we're trying to go to a place where we show that we have some humanity left. I really do. Somebody's got to feel that way. But also, there's hello stupid character moment too. People don't change. People are who they are. Morgan said it himself. There's a reason why he said that. It's true. A tiger doesn't change his stripes. That is what it is. I don't know. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Now, if I want to get off the stuff that was really bugging me, there is some really good stuff, okay? There was a really cool action piece with Rick and Daryl working together in a hallway. That was neat. I thought that Ross Marquand, who plays Aaron, did an absolutely phenomenal job when he lost Eric. Don't really care that Eric died because they haven't done a good job of building his character up, but you feel for Aaron. You do, because they've done an okay job. Yeah, they're both kind of periphery characters. They both don't really mean a whole lot in the grand scheme of things, but at least you feel for Aaron a little bit. They've spent some time developing him as a character. Unfortunately, Eric is not. They had some really good humor in that moment when Aaron is breaking down, and I thought that was really well done, but in the end, it's not the emotional gut punch that I think that the showrunners are hoping happened just because Eric died. But overall, in the grand scheme of things in the show, that was really well done and a really enjoyable scene. Like I was talking about earlier with Morales, there is something that at least that conversation had when he's talking about, you're the Rick from Alexandria, you're a monster. Those things that Morales was saying to Rick, they really resonated with Rick. And it's almost like a recalibration where he's kind of figuring out who he was before all this. You see, he gets to call the past where he's talking about Lori and Shane and Andrea. And what would some of them think about who Rick is? I mean, Rick is Shane, who he had all this disdain for. And he's done some really terrible things. So it's nice to kind of call back to previous seasons and use that as some fuel to maybe take his character back the other way. Also, and I may make a separate video about this, because I love the fact that he went back after to go get the baby, Gracie. And then Aaron, of course, needs a mission, so that was really cool because dude is gone. He's lost, right? So I like that. But did you guys notice that the dream sequence in episode number 1, Rick goes and talks to the little girl. We assume that's Judith. But the little stuffed animal that she had holding on to in that scene is the same stuffed animal that was in Gracie's crib. That is interesting. That is interesting. And I love those eagle-eyed people out there that always pick these things out. I actually kind of noticed that. I was like, that looks familiar. So, my theory, if you want to go back and take a look at the spoiler leak, the potential spoiler leak for the major death about mid-season finale of Go There Now, there's a huge spoiler that I'm going to kind of drop right now. I'm not going to say who I think is going to take this spot, but you have to go back to that video. I'll even put a link in it. As we know, Judith in the comics died at the prison with Lori. Maybe, just maybe, somebody is going to do that again here. I haven't put it all together yet, but there is potential for that to happen. So, in the end, overall, this episode was pretty solid. I enjoyed it. There was a lot of things that didn't make sense, but it was still an enjoyable episode. And it had a hell of a stinger at the end with Ezekiel and the Kingdom troops and Carol all coming under fire with the MGs that we happen to be looking for where they found Morales and that crew. That could be something serious next week because Carol, we do give a shit about. Ezekiel, we do give a shit about. And freaking Jerry, we give a shit about, okay? And we know Rick and Daryl are on their way to try and save that group. This should be a fun episode. I am very much anticipating that. So in the end, I think I'm going to go ahead and give this week's episode of The Walking Dead a 7 out of 10. Guys, this was a really good episode, a solid episode, but there's some major things that it's just not doing for me. And while it is nowhere near the mediocrity that last season presented, this season it could be doing so much more, and some of the writing and things that they're doing don't make sense. It's just not good. It's not good storytelling. It's not cohesive and coherent writing. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't compute. At least for me, I don't know. If you guys are feeling something different, let me know. Let me know how you're feeling in the comments below. As always, thank you guys for watching this. You guys are the absolute best. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We do this every week, so come back and join me. My name is Mike from the Super Wheeler Bros, and as always, my friends, have yourselves a super week.